Okay. Hi, I'm Salsaman, and I'm the author of this application, which is LiVES, as you can see, the Linux video editing system. Although it now works on more operating systems than Linux, it also works on BSD and OpenMosix, and hopefully soon there'll be OS 10 version coming out with using Think. And also I should explain as well, I had some problems with my laptop, so maybe you noticed this morning I was supposed to do my presentation. I've had to take the hard drive out of my laptop and put it into this machine here, so everything isn't working quite smoothly, but it's enough for a demo, I think. So I'll just talk maybe for 5 minutes or so about LiVES in general, and then I'll come on to the main part of my presentation today, which is rapid development of video effects, which is a new thing I've just put into LiVES. Okay, so well, basically LiVES, of course, is a video editing system, and it allows you to do all kinds of things like mixing clips, cutting and pasting, and so on. It's also a combination. It has real-time effects and it has rendered effects, and you can mix and match the two. So I'll show you just briefly. You can to load in a file. It uses a program called mPlayer, which has plugins for pretty much any video format. So you're not restricted. You can load in AVI files, MPEGs, pretty much anything. So if I just, this is LiVES.mp4 file. I don't know if this is going to work. Oh, okay, yeah, it doesn't come up on the screen here actually, but that's on the preview there. So basically, you open your files, your clips. You can also open just parts of files. You can open from a remote stream. You can open part for DVD or VCD, various devices. And a new thing I put in, you can also open an incoming stream, and you can back up and restore your files. So there are plenty of ways of getting your clips in, and there's also a tool, Capture External Window, and when you click on that, you can also click on any window in the desktop, and it will start grabbing frames from that. So that's how you get your material in. And when you load a clip, it appears in the clip menu here. As you can see, I've got quite a few loaded. This is my VJ set for tonight. Okay. The clips, you can just play them. There's various modes of playing. You can play in the window like that. You can pop it out to a separate window. Make it larger. You can make it full screen. Various looping modes as well. And then for the editing things, you've got a selection at the bottom here. Just create a selection like that. You can also look in the separate window. You can adjust the start and end values here. And everything you do in LiVES is done with selections, pretty much everything. So I can just now copy that, then say paste as new. And there I get my new clip, and now I can do all kinds of things like reverse the clipboard. If I play the clipboard, you'll see it's backwards. Well, it's not very easy to see, but that was it forwards. And we can do all kinds of things as well, like inserts. I can insert 50 copies or something. Okay, that will take a bit of a while, so I'll cancel that there. And you can also merge the clipboard with any selection you have there. Now go to merge. I've reversed the clipboard, so if I fade it in, it should be going forwards, then it should start going backwards. I'll just play the selection there. Okay, it's not that easy to see with this particular clip, but that's what happened if I undo that. Okay, well, it's quite kind of hard to see. Okay. Now there are also various effects and tools you can apply. These are the rendered effects, which, not like non-real-time effects. If I pick one, you see it has various parameters, and I apply it. You can preview it while it's being applied. Okay, it's applied to that selection. Okay, it's done a kind of fade and mix with a random offset there. This isn't a very good clip to demonstrate with. I'll try and find a better one. Let's see. Okay, I'll just use a little selection for now. So we have other rendered effects like, for example, jumble is a nice one to demonstrate. It just puts the frames in that selection into random order. Okay. So that's how the rendered effects work, and I'll just undo that. Now you've also got tools which are applied not to the selection but to the whole clip. So I can say resize every frame in the clip or rotate 90 degrees, for example. And now the reason I'm mentioning all this actually is because all of these things I'm showing you, the effects and all these tools, are all plugins, and you can change those plugins. That's what I'm going to talk about in a moment. But first, I'll just show the real-time effects, because as well as the render effects, you can also apply effects in real time. So if I start playing it, and if I press Control 3, you get inverted picture. Control 2 puts some noise on it. These are all fixed to different keys at the moment, but I'm still developing the real-time effects. You'll be able to assign different effects to different keys. This one's like posterize. And you can also mix in real time. If I press Control 8 and then switch to another clip. Okay, so you can see it's mixing those two clips together in real time. There's different modes. You can do overlays and things like that. And if you like a particular combination of real-time effects, you can also render those to the clip by saying apply real-time effects. Okay, it's not working at the moment, and this is a development version, so there's some problem there. But normally you can do, and then you get the real-time effect rendered. Okay, so that's basically what you can do with it. There's also audio things you can do, and you can look at info about the file, things like that. But I'm not going to talk about that because I could go on for hours with it. what you can do. What I'm going to talk about now is the plugins, because all these effects you see here, things like shrink, expand, and some of the tools, for example, this trim frames tool. These are all generated from plugins, and you can go in, if we go to the new advanced menu here, the system I use is something I developed myself. It's called RFX, for rendered effects. And I put the spec online so you can download it and have a look. But basically I can take any of the current effects in the system and I can make my own custom version. So if I want to look at, say, edge detect, we have built-in custom and test. I'll mention those. The built-in ones are the ones you see here in the menu, and here it comes up. This is the RFX builder window. And I'm not going to look at this yet. I'm going to actually start just building a test effect from scratch. So I go to new test effect, and there are various types you can build effects. You can build just a normal effect which has one input, one output. You can also build transitions with two inputs and two outputs, like the fade I showed. Generators are not done yet, but eventually you'll be able to write effects that don't have any inputs but generate frames. And you can also tools, which are the things that apply to a whole clip, like resizing, rotating. And you can also make utilities, which is something I found with this system you can put in. I'll mention that if I have time. I'm going to make an effect now, and I'm going to call it oil painting. I'm going to make an effect that tries to simulate oil painting in a video. I can't use spaces in the name. And I'll give it version 0.1. Okay, and menu text will be oil paint, and my description will be oil painting. Now, here we come to the minimum frames. That's if you have an effect that has, it needs, say, a minimum of 10 frames, because let's say it wants to look back 10 frames or something like that. But for this one, it's just taking one image, it's going to change it, then do an output. So I just leave my minimum frames at 1. These ones here I'll come back to in a moment. But we'll start I'll just dive straight into the code. Now in your loop code, if you see, sorry, I was went forward a bit too far, but there's a language code here. The language code tells you what language the pre-loop, loop, and post-loop and trigger code is written in. At the moment, there's only one choice, which is LiVES Perl, which is basically normal Perl, but with some extra extensions, extra subroutines, extra variables specifically for processing video. I should mention also there will be facilities for making real-time effects and audio effects, but it's not in there yet. So I'm going to put in my code, and basically the objective is I don't know if anybody knows Perl here, but in Perl you have scalar variables and you have arrays, and the objective in a normal effect is to start with an image called $in, and I want to create an image called $out. And between $in and $out, I can do anything I like. I don't even have to. All I have to do is create this image called $out. And the only rules are it has to be currently RGB24 format, and it has to be the same image size as $in. So that's fine. I'm going to take $in, I'm going to convert it somehow, I'll make it $out, so the size will stay the same. And if I use a special command here, then it will also keep palette the same. Now in Perl you can use operating system commands. So with system, I can say system anything. And what I'm going to do here is system. Now, one of the requirements for installing Lives is to have a package called ImageMagick installed. And ImageMagick is basically a command line tool that converts images. The particular tools that it has are convert and composite. So you know that they're going to be there if somebody has Lives installed. So I can use any of the ImageMagick commands. I could also use other commands to change the images, but for now I'm going to stick to that. So I say system. Now I'm going to use convert command, but I have a special version of it called $convert command, which actually just does normal convert, but it makes it to keep the palette the same. So I'm going to say system $convert command $in $out. Okay, now what that will do, that won't change the image at all. That will just copy $in to $out. So I need to tell it something to make it into an oil painting. So can we switch over the monitors now? I need to go to the browser.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure what the ImageMagick command is, so I just go on to the next. Okay, so this is the sorry, this is the ImageMagick side. You see here, I'm going to look up the convert command and find out what it is to do oil painting. Okay, so then we have the command, it's convert minus paint. But there is a parameter called radius, so that's going to give us a bit of a problem, but I'll show you how to get around that problem. Can we switch the monitors back? Okay, so now I go back to my code, so I know it's going to be convert command $in minus paint, and now we need a radius. So what I want to do, I want to prompt the user to put in the radius themselves. So that's going to be a parameter, a user supplied parameter, and the parameters in this are an RFX go from P1 to P2, P3, P4 in order, and of course with a dollar before it because it's Perl. So I'm going to say convert command $in minus paint $P1 $out. Okay, now that's all I need to type actually. That's my code done. Now I mentioned there was a parameter called radius, so I need to tell the system what that parameter is. I'm going to make a new entry. I'm going to call it radius. I'll put an underline because that will be mnemonic. And it's a numeric type, and it's no decimal places, it's an integer. I'm not sure what the minimum or maximum is, but I'll guess it's 1 in 10,000. My default value I'll guess at 4. Okay, so now I have my parameter there, P1 radius, it's integer. And one last thing I should do, the requirements, just to make sure they have ImageMagick. I need to convert as a command line. Okay, and now I'm going to compile that. So I go back to my effects and I say rebuild. And now you see at the bottom, it's rebuilding all the scripts that are already there. And it should get to test. Custom. Okay, and now it's going to rebuild the menu entries. Okay, so now if I go back to, it's a bit slow on this machine, it's normally faster. Okay, now if I go back here, and I go to run test rendered effect. Oh, there's one I was testing already, but now if we see my oil paint has been added, and we see radius comes up here, my default was 4, minimum 1, maximum, whatever, I'm going to try with 4. Okay. Right, and now we see Lives is adding all this other stuff in.
I think we're into question time now.
Okay. Yeah, it seems to be, it's very slow, I think. I think it is processing. So just check the console output.
You want to take some questions while it's processing?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, yes, it's very slow. It's kind of doing one frame at a time. But there you see the first frame. Oh, I have to have my real-time effects on. I'll switch them off. There we go. So it's a very slow effect, so it's going to take a while to process. But it will eventually do that whole selection. And if I'm happy with that effect, I can then promote it to a custom effect, and it will be added to the effects menu under custom submenu, and it will be I'll be able to export that onto the internet, and other people with Lives can import it. And you can also do transitions, like I said, where you take 2 inputs and you produce 1 output. And I'm planning to add real-time effects in as plugins very soon. So that's it. And you can also, the parameter window I showed with radius, you can also, if you have a lot of parameters, you can also design the window. So you say I want P1 here, then a label, then my P parameter 2. And I showed you the trim frames tool before with the rectangle. That's also a plugin. It has that rectangular window is defined in my parameter window hints. So unfortunately I don't have time to show that now. But okay, any questions?
Do you plan to support OFX, the open source plugin interface?
I'm supporting a standard that's being developed now called Livedo. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's okay. For some reason it stops. But it's done the first few frames. You see that?
No sound. Internet I have.
I'm planning on I'm working on supporting Livedo, which is being developed by the Bergen group that meets every year in Norway. OpenFX, I'm not sure about. I'll probably look into that, but I'm currently supporting Livedo. So, but it will be possible to support multiple plugin architectures.
Do you have any group of people, any community of people using your software? And
yes, we have. Where there's a mailing list with about 100 people on it, and they're not all that vocal, but sometimes they do. Like somebody translated this recently into French. There's also a Czech translation, and somebody else from the group wrote a new high-quality encoder for MPEG-1, MPEG-2, OGG, MP4, and Matroska. So other people are contributing. I mean, I'm the only person who works on the core code at the moment. Until it's a bit more developed, then I'll put it on CVS, and other people will be able to jump in a bit more.
yeah, but it's a tool. It's meant for using it.
That's right. Yeah. And it's I think it's nice because I use it myself for VJing. It's the only tool I use, and I can use it for VJing, and I can also use the same tool to prepare the clips that I'm going to VJ with. So there's a nice connection there, and I also use it to make video art with.
So it is an open source tool.
It is completely open source. Yes.
And how do you feel about people using it commercially?
I don't have any objection to that. I mean, that's the point of open source is you can't say you can use it, you can't. I would be happy if people use it commercially, because then maybe they'd pay me for support. So, yeah. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Okay.